Do I feel a sense of belonging? Some days I do, and some days I really feel out of place. Some days I just feel like I just want to speak my language.
Smoking the Zaza, they go straight to the Mata. Then I'm up in the chopper.
And obviously, I don't see nobody who's going to be speaking the same language as me. The time difference gets a little tough too because I believe South Africa is like 7 hours ahead. So, when I'm feeling just, a little homesick or feeling like I want to speak to somebody in my home language and I'm unable to call because everybody's sleeping, that really can put a little damper on one's spirit, though that's what I'm trying to do in my home, where we keep our original language because that's so important. That's very important to me, that my children and anybody in my family really understands my true self.
My name is Ayanda, and I'll be sharing a little bit of my experience coming from South Africa, living in the United States.
So, I started traveling to the United States after I studied hospitality management, which is my career. And the first time that I started traveling, I was like, okay, wow, it's a beautiful country, and everybody seemed to be very friendly, a little too friendly sometimes, though definitely a wonderful experience. I lived in Florida, in Naples, and just had the time of my life. So I would go back and forth from South Africa to the United States, again doing hospitality. I was a server and doing front office. So for about 3 years, I was working in South Africa and in the United States, probably for 6 months in the United States and 6 months in South Africa. And really, this was just to test out which country I like better. And I do love South Africa better, and this is why. I grew up in South Africa, and all of my values, my teachings are from South Africa, and that can never change. That is just who I am. Okay, fast forward to 3 years back when I decided to stay in America, and obviously, this is work related. And the reason why I chose to stay in America is because of better opportunities. Like anybody who does decide to stay in America, I believe it is because of opportunities. I know better than anyone the job market when it comes to South Africa, especially being somebody who has traveled abroad. I was finding it difficult to find jobs that are worthy of me doing because I was either overqualified or I was placed in a position that I would not want to be, in terms of just salary wise. There were not enough jobs for people. The unemployment rates in South Africa had gone very high over the years, and that was very troubling, especially for those South Africans who tend to look after their families. I don't know how other South Africans live or how it works when you help your family back at home, but I am a firstborn, and really I've always just taken it upon myself to send money back home or take care of my mom or my brother. So that was something that I had to consider especially deciding to permanently move to America. And it's not a decision that I can regret, again, because of the financial obligations that I may have. Though the other reason for me wanting to stay in America is just that
International exposure, you are more likely to get diverse, in terms of suppose that you want to start a business or you are.
so on the upside, I remember growing up in South Africa as being very strict. Most of our families are strict when it comes to how you conduct yourself. You never understand why they be so hard on, especially ladies and girls, why the rules are so set. And only later on in life you realize it's because, they care. They care. They want you to be successful. They want you to, and they, meaning your family, your neighbors, because it really is a village. It takes a village to raise a child. And that is so true, because if I did something wrong and not my mom sees me, but my neighbor does, they were given the right by my parents to whip me or hit me or whatever it is that I'm doing. They can be the parents at that time and discipline me. And so you would not even dare to be seen by your neighbors doing anything crazy. So when you are a girl, you really are taught to act as such in terms of behavior, your etiquette, and really just representing the family when you go out to school or wherever it is that you've seen, because family is something that we value so much. Just moving to the United States has really taught me a lot. Um, it has taught me not to trust anyone. Okay, well, that's a joke, but it's true. When I think about home, I think about homemade putu, porridge, stew, chicken stew, beef stew, simple living, going out into the sun, and just, bathing in the sun. When I think about home, I think about so many people speaking different languages, yet everybody understands each other. When I think about home, I think about greeting your neighbors or going to have some tea at your neighbors, um, kids playing outside in the streets. Um, I think about family, the real value of how being part of a family feels like. And that's definitely something that I feel America can tend to take away, especially with just having to work so much, because everybody just works and works and works. And I've been hustling all day, this away, that away. Very well be the best thing that could ever happen in my life, because when you come from humble beginnings, you are able to be grateful for good things that happen into your life. You are able to be grateful for your family. You grateful for the small things that happen in your life, whether it's small successes or it's a job promotion or just something happening in your life that is a change, that's a positive change. You're able to be excited about it and celebrate your victories. And I feel that growing up in South Africa has definitely taught me that. Growing up in South Africa has taught me to have manners, to say please, thank you, I'm sorry. I may struggle with I'm sorry a little bit, but
I take every single piece of the blame if you want me to.
nevertheless, manners is a huge thing. When you go into a room, you have to greet when you wake up in the morning and everybody is up already. You have to greet. It's it's something that is a requirement that you don't have to even think about. So you find that most South Africans go around in the street and just, you walk past somebody and you start greeting or you smile at them, and this is something that happens throughout the country. South Africans are very welcoming, very warm, and friendly. So in some parts of the United States, you're not gonna find that. I know I lived in New York for a little bit, and that is something that I wouldn't do. And I see the change a lot with stuff like that happen where you move to a different state and you have to really adapt to the type of living. Like for me, moving to the South has been something that was extremely, extremely eye opening. This is where I feel I experienced racism for the very first time in America. Was at the South, and I was working at this restaurant that I'm not gonna name, though. Just the things that I had seen and heard made me really feel like, as a country, things are very, very backwards. And that was very concerning, and only to realize that it was going on around the South a lot.
Who is this saying that? Who said that? Who said that? Who said that?
Do I feel a sense of belonging? Some days I do, and some days I really feel out of place. Some days I just feel like I just want to speak my language. Ngiyacela ngaba khona umuntu oyedwa nje engakhuluma naye isiZulu.